Sean Callahan, Nate Klaus here for HuskerOnline.com. We're at the Friday Night Lights camp here with video producer Greg Peterson, and it's been a big day in recruiting for Nebraska. They get a commit earlier today from offensive lineman Brock Bando from Lincoln Southeast, but they ended the day, Nate, with the verbal commitment from 2018 defensive tackle prospect Masri Mapu from York.
Yeah, Masri Mapu is a kid who's really been making a name for himself over the last couple of weeks, going to several camps, landing in several offers. Nebraska was the last camp that he attended this summer, and that offer came tonight. And really, when you look at the kid perform, he's a raw project, but you cannot draw up a better looking, piece of clay really to mold, because he's 6'5", nearly 300 pounds, and he's raw, but is raw potential.
And I think everybody wondered, how would Nebraska play this, and how would Masri handle it? Because we've seen this. A lot of kids have gotten that in-state offer and they sit on it, but we haven't really even seen this in a long time, other than maybe David Engelhoff, where a guy got the offer and pretty much committed on the spot.
I was able to ask Coach Snodgrass that tonight. After Mapu committed, I asked him, did you throw any hypotheticals out there at any point in time? If the Nebraska offer, what would you do? And he said, yeah, actually coming back from Iowa State, we talked about it, and Masri said, if there's one team that offered me that I would commit right away, it would be Nebraska, and that happened.
And it shouldn't be a shocker. We're talking about a kid from York, Nebraska, committing to the Huskers, but I think his background, being a Sudanese born, not necessarily from Nebraska, you just never know like what are his goals, and obviously he showed tonight that Nebraska was his #1 priority. Now, Nate, there are a lot of other guys here at the camp, some not taking part in the camp, that are going to be here for the Big Red Weekend.
Yeah, Damian Daniels, the big defensive tackle out of Dallas, his teammate Calvin Avery and Brian Williams, both underclassmen that were here as well, all have offers from Nebraska, all big-time visitors. You had Cameron Jurgens, who was here. He's going to be going to Big Red Weekend tomorrow. Matt Sichterman, his brother Dan, worked out tonight, and a number of other guys. This is going to be a pretty big Big Red Weekend tomorrow on Saturday, and I think that we're going to see some more offers come out of this camp too, and maybe that will kind of translate into more visits coming forward.
Another one of the standouts here tonight was someone, Nate, that you and Greg saw at that St. Louis satellite camp as well. He made a visit up here to Nebraska for the satellite camp.
Yeah, Kyron Williams out of Bishop Vianney High School in St. Louis really impressed us at this St. Louis satellite camp, and was one of the top performers there. And the Nebraska staff talked with him there and said, hey, you want to earn an early offer, you got to come up to the camp, come up to a Friday Night Lights camp, show what you can do. Well, he did that tonight. He was arguably the top performer, definitely the top wide receiver here tonight, I feel, and I think we're going to see an offer coming forward to him here shortly.
Yeah, the word was it probably was coming, but we didn't have any confirmation as we're taping this thing. It might have already happened as we're standing here right now, but no doubt an impressive player. Had some other in-state guys there: Trent Hickson from Omaha Skutt, Peter Garrels, a number of Moses Bryant, a number of other in-state guys here in attendance tonight. Anything jump out to you, Nate, from the large group of in-state kids here tonight? You had Noah Vedral here as well. You can go down the list of top guys that showed up.
I think one thing that really surprised me is the kid you haven't mentioned yet, is that's Bryson Williams out of Lincoln Southeast. 2018 defensive lineman, offensive lineman, worked out as defensive tackle this evening, and I thought he looked great. He's about 6'2", 260 pounds. He's very explosive, made a lot of plays, definitely in the one-on-ones. I think he handled himself very well, and he's going to be a name to know going forward.
Well, no doubt it's going to be a busy week for Nebraska. Big Red Weekend will take place Saturday, then they'll do it all over again next week with their final Friday Night Lights camp on June 24th. It's set to be a big one, followed by another Big Red Weekend. For video producer Greg Peterson, I'm Sean Callahan with Nate Klaus for HuskerOnline.com.